Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as we are here on the 1st of February 2020 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. As far as tonight's Monday Night Raw does go, I'll say I was entertained by the show. I'm thinking I've seen better Raws. I'll say that for sure. I've seen better episodes of Monday Night Raw. I didn't think this was a bad show. I'm not saying that at all. But and let me fix something here really fast. But it was just like, okay, we built a couple of things going forward, but I don't feel like we built a lot, and we still had some stuff that we're just sitting still on. So we'll get into all of that, what I mean, as we go through the show. But I just felt like there were some things tonight where it was just like, okay, what the heck is that all for? And then other things, it's like, okay, I see where that is going. But there's just some things, it's like, okay, can we get some sort of a, what's next? It's just, and I'll go into more detail in a moment, but I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. With that, if you are watching us on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways, either by hitting that donate button down below or donating some Twitch bits. Also, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, just like Ruben did today at Tier 1. Thank you for that, Ruben. You can do either a tiered subscription or you can subscribe for free if you're already paying Amazon for Amazon Prime, because if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. With Prime Gaming, you get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to support throughout the month, and we would greatly appreciate it if you supported us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Just got to remember, after the month, you got to go manually hit that subscribe button again with Twitch Prime. It doesn't do it automatically every month like it does with the Tier 1 subscription. On the flip side, I do want to thank everybody for watching on YouTube. If you want to help us out on YouTube, you can help us out a couple of different ways, either by becoming a channel member by hitting that join button down below next to where it says subscribe, or by donating a by donating a YouTube, my mind just went blank, super chat or super sticker. All super chats do get read live on the air. And I want to check something really fast. Okay, cool. Everything's good. I tried something new with starting the stream to see if I can get better quality in the video, and it seems to be running fine right now, so we'll see how that goes. But we're here to talk about Monday Night Raw. And Raw kicked off with a WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. McIntyre enters the ring to start the show. He said, "We're on the road to WrestleMania." And the Royal Rumble last night was awesome. He starts running down the card, basically. He says that last night he beat Goldberg and he earned Goldberg's respect. He then thanked Goldberg for the match. He would then go on to say that Sasha Banks and Carmella killed it. And he even put over Bianca Belair for winning the Women's Royal Rumble. And before he can say anything about Edge, well, Edge would interrupt. Edge would make his way down to the ring, and McIntyre called Edge a mentor, someone that he's looked up to and has looked out for him on the road. He said he remembers how terrible it was the day that Edge had to retire. He said, "I was there. I was here. I could never imagine." McIntyre also remembered AJ's boot in his throat last year. He said, "Hey, I remember last year. You came into the Royal Rumble. You made your big return. I was sitting in the corner. AJ Styles has a boot in my throat. And I was just like, what is going on? I heard that you think you know me." And it all went from there. He said, "I watched you over the next couple of months. And unfortunately, an injury took you out. But I was happy and proud that you have won the Rumble." And this is where Edge gets real. He goes, "You're what?" Because that's the problem. You shouldn't be out here congratulating me. What the hell is wrong with you? Edge said that he's now an immediate threat because he gets to choose who he wants to face at WrestleMania for the championship. He said instead of McIntyre showering him with compliments, instead, he should be kicking his head off, making him not want to challenge him at WrestleMania. McIntyre said that he wasn't like that. He said he's not like certain opportunists. He's a different kind of champion. That went the wrong way. Sorry about that. Sheamus would then come out. Sheamus wondered how Edge could question a champion who has carried the company through uncharted waters like Drew McIntyre has. He basically said, he's been our champion. He's been holding this company on his back, and where have you been? At home, nursing an injury. He would then threaten Edge, and McIntyre basically told Sheamus to back off. McIntyre wanted to know what Edge's decision was regarding WrestleMania, and Edge said, you know, got a lot of options. And he said, you will know in time what my decision will be. He said, but remember, you have a huge target on your back. So don't, he said something along the lines of like, don't just lay, how did he phrase it? I can't remember exactly. He told him he has a huge target on his back. He basically told him to don't, I didn't write this down, but he basically said, like, don't take being the champion for granted. Don't think, oh, I've beaten everybody so far, I'm just going to beat the next person. Edge said no matter who he chooses, he will walk out of WrestleMania the champion. Edge would then go to leave. McIntyre had the belt. He went to pose with the belt, and when he turned around, Sheamus would hit him with a bro kick. They played boos as Sheamus walked up the ramp into the back. The announcers here were perplexed, except for Samoa Joe. Joe explained to the other announcers exactly what Sheamus did. He said, hey, he knocked him out because he wants to be the WWE champion. In the back, Charlie Caruso asked Sheamus for a comment. Sheamus said McIntyre was no longer his friend, and all he wants is the WWE title. Drew Gulak would appear with Sheamus's bags. Sheamus grabbed his stuff and left. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but is Gulak now Sheamus's errand boy? That was very weird. Very, very weird. And we didn't see Sheamus nor Gulak at all for the rest of the show. So next up, we got an altercation. I ain't even going to call this fucking thing a match. An altercation for the U.S. title between Riddle and Bobby Lashley. So, last week, if you remember, Matt Riddle won a gauntlet match to earn himself a title shot at Bobby Lashley in the U.S. title. So, the match is getting underway, and the announcers put over Riddle's performance in the Rumble and his exchange with Daniel Bryan that caused him to suffer a black eye. The match is going, and really quickly early on, Bobby Lashley applies a hurt lock on the apron. So, Bobby's in the ring holding the hurt lock. Say these are the ropes. My microphone holds the ropes. Riddle is right here on this side. So, Lashley's holding on that hurt lock. Got it in. And the ref's like, you're going to have to break that hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He doesn't break the hold, so the ref's like, I got to do it. DQ. As soon as he calls for the DQ finish, Riddle also taps out. So, honestly, if he would have held in for a couple more seconds inside the ring, he would have won anyways. Whatever. So he lets go of the hold. Riddle falls to the floor at ringside. Lashley goes out there, grabs him, puts him in the hurt lock again, and they start playing "You Suck" chants over the PA system. MVP would run down and say, hey, Bobby, what are you doing? Stop. You're going too far. Stop. And so Lashley throws him down, and he gets in MVP's face like he going to blast MVP. Like, I thought he was going to punch MVP. And MVP's just like, all right, you beat him. It's over. You have nothing left to prove. You're going to kill that man. And Lashley goes over, grabs him again, and puts him in the hurt lock. And MVP goes, okay, you won, but you won't win the court case. Basically saying, if you severely injure that man or kill him, you're going to get charged. So Lashley basically, while still holding on the hurt lock, throws Riddle over the barricade, looks at MVP again like he's going to punch the living shit out of him, and walks off. I don't know what's going on here. I know they've been building up Bobby Lashley even stronger than they built up Drew McIntyre last year before he won the Rumble. And on commentary, they noted Bobby Lashley is a man on a mission, and could he be someone that wants to challenge for the WWE Championship? If they keep Bobby Lashley this strong all the way to WrestleMania, Maybe we get WWE champion versus US champion. Maybe somehow I would say you got to take the title off of him if he were to challenge for the title. And one way they can do that is he gets another match with Riddle, but Adam Pearce tells him if you get DQ'd, you lose the belt, Riddle gets the belt. So maybe I can see something like that. But they got to do something. If the plan were to build him up for WrestleMania and challenging Drew McIntyre, because we know that it looks like right now, and this is kind of a spoiler alert, it was reported by Dave Meltzer that as of right now, the plan is for Edge to challenge Roman at WrestleMania. So Drew needs an opponent. I always thought maybe Sheamus. Looks like they may be going to that early, like Elimination Chamber or Fastlane. So they need somebody else for WrestleMania. They've got Bobby Lashley built up as this just insane monster that no one can handle. And I hope he goes more and more unchained, I guess you could say, over the next couple of weeks and months. So they show Bad Bunny showing up, and they say he's going to be on Miz TV. They go to break, and when they come back, there's officials and stuff tending to Riddle. He's still sitting on the other side of the barricade where Lashley threw him, and he's just like, bro, what happened? Where am I? Like, you just had a match with Bobby Lashley and it didn't go well. He goes, I fought who? I did what? And that was the last we saw of Riddle. I was just like, what was that supposed to accomplish? That made absolutely no sense. They're basically saying that, how do you phrase this? That he got his ass beat so much that Bobby Lashley knocked the last 8 minutes or so out of him. It didn't make any sense for him to... Okay, I can see you get beat up so bad that maybe you suffer a concussion and don't remember the match itself. But to go, who did I face? What? Like, he knew hours before the show he was facing Bobby Lashley. So it's not like even if he doesn't remember the last 5 minutes, he knew that was what he was doing. So I don't get it. I'm probably looking too far into it. Next up, Randy Orton cuts a promo backstage. Said he didn't think it was possible for Edge to return, let alone win the Royal Rumble from number one. He said there was a plan. There was a problem with that. Orton told the world that Edge would never return. He said Edge has now made him a liar. Orton said that he put Edge through hell because he loves him and wants him to go home to his family. Orton told Edge that he's not main eventing WrestleMania. There would be no mercy or compassion later on tonight, and then they do let us know, which this really should have been announced earlier, like when they announced all the other stuff. Edge versus Orton happened tonight. They're stating this will be the last time that Edge fights Randy Orton. And I think that should have been something with that branding. Last time ever. But no. The only thing they announced with Edge was there was a graphic on social media with Edge's face, and it said, we will get the fallout from the Royal Rumble. They didn't even say anything as far as like, Edge is going to announce who's going to challenge, or Edge is this, Edge is... No, picture of Edge said, fallout from the Royal Rumble. So in the back, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are hyping each other up. Basically, Kofi's hyping up Xavier. Kofi told Xavier Woods that Mustafa Ali has lost his mind, thinking that if Kofi didn't make it to WrestleMania, that all would have been Ali, because that would have never happened, he said. Kofi then said he's got Woods' back tonight in his match. Kofi Kingston Xavier Woods did take on Mustafa Ali tonight. Interesting enough, though, no Mia Yim, which we know why, but also no Mace. Dio Madden was missing as well. So, match didn't go long. It went less than 5 minutes. Woods hit a side Russian leg sweep and a discus clothesline, but T-Bar broke up the cover. The ref yelled at Retribution and didn't call for the DQ, which was very weird. Kingston then jumped off T-Bar shoulders to wipe out Slapjack with a dive. It was good to see that Kofi's not fully cleared to have a match, but he can get physical. I like that. Because I was worried that he's going to come out here and just watch and not do anything. But it's good to see that he can do some stuff. Ali tried to use this distraction, though, to cause a roll-up pin on Woods. but Woods countered into a roll-up of his own and actually defeated Ali. So in the back, we see Bad Bunny speaking with Damien Priest. They also state that, hey, later on, Mcintyre is going to cut a promo. He's going to do an interview. And I go, why? He already talked earlier. We don't need him again. The second hour kicks off with Miz TV special guest Bad Bunny. Tom Phillips said that this could be the biggest episode ever of Miz TV, with perhaps the biggest guest ever. I get it, the Bad Bunny guy. He's very popular. I don't know his music, so I can't gauge his popularity other than what I hear people now say on social media. So for me to try and say, oh, well, I don't know who Bad Bunny is, so why should I care? I know there's a lot of people that do like Bad Bunny. And I mean, his stuff on like YouTube, his music videos get tens of millions of views. So he's got an audience. And WWE is trying to tap into that. So they introduced Bad Bunny, and Miz and Morrison then mock his Booker T video. Basically, Miz stands there like Booker T as Morrison dances around him going, hey, 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 oh, hey, hey, hey. And Bad Bunny comes down to the ring. Miz says, hey, so we had a misunderstanding yesterday. I want to apologize. Bad Bunny accepts the apology. Miz and Morrison were expecting an apology as well, but he didn't give them one. Miz said they'd heard a rumor that Bad Bunny wants to be a WWE superstar one day. Bad Bunny said, yeah, it's always been one of my dreams. Miz then mentioned how successful people that have followed him and been under his tutelage have been, like Daniel Bryan. He then offered to basically mentor and train Bad Bunny. He said, I'll give you many great opportunities. All they wanted in return was his help getting them a record deal. Mr. Morrison then sang in Spanish, and Bad Bunny interrupted them. There was one spot right before this where Miz asked Bad Bunny a question. He responded, and Morrison goes, oh, yeah, bien. I'm like, John Morrison can be one of the best guys on their roster, and they've typecasted him as a comedy geek with The Miz. I get it. Morrison's really good in the role. But if you saw the stuff he was doing in Lucha Underground and the stuff he was doing back in Impact, he could be running this company like WWE champion. Him and McIntyre for the title, if they were to have built him up well from the start, like when he came back, could be a WrestleMania match. Like a hell of a WrestleMania match. So Bad Bunny would interrupt them, and he called them special, but he wasn't interested in their offer. Miz would start to get angry and told him that he wasn't talking to Shakira and J-Lo. These are really important people. Miz then warned him, and Bad Bunny goes, hey, I'm only here on Miz TV because I got a friend that also wants to be on Miz TV. And out would come Damien Priest. Damien Priest and Bad Bunny would embrace before knocking down The Miz with a forearm. Morrison bailed to check on Miz as the segment ended, and then we rolled in to Damien Priest versus The Miz. Damien Priest has officially debuted on the main roster and is a Raw superstar. Also, guys, if you want to text into the show, let me know what you thought tonight. You can do so by texting into 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. The match starts off, and Priest wiped out Miz and Morrison with a dive early. He literally did a step up where he runs across the ring, bounces off the middle rope, and does a flip over the top rope to the floor. And you see stuff like that from a guy that looks like Damien Priest, and I'm not saying Damien Priest has a bad look to him. I'm saying like a guy that's like that tall. Like Damien Priest is easily 6'9". How tall is Damien Priest? Let's see how. Damien Priest height. Damien Priest height. Damien Priest is, according to Google, 6'5". Swear he looks taller than that because my dad is 6'6", and he looks taller than my dad anyways. Priest looked very impressive doing that flip dive, and Priest just has this aura to him. I don't know what it is. Like, he didn't have this in Ring of Honor. He a little bit when he was Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor. But since coming to WWE, he's had this like confidence and aura about him that it's just poof, superstar. And not that shitty, I'm a WWE superstar kind of superstar. No, real superstar. Like, you could throw me on freaking Jimmy Fallon, and I'd do great representing this damn company. So Miz was paying too much attention to Bad Bunny throughout a lot of this match, which allowed Priest to block a kick and come back with strikes of his own, and then a broken arrow for a 2. Priest was distracted by Morrison at one point, which allowed Miz to hit a big boot. Yeah, think about that. Miz big booted a 6'5" guy. Miz is like my height. 5'11", 6 foot flat. I'm 5'11". Well, depends on who measures me. Sometimes I get measured at 5'10", sometimes 5'11". Anyways, Miz hits the big boot. Miz then went to grab the briefcase, and Bad Bunny said, "No, no, no, hombre." And Bad Bunny would take the briefcase. Morrison then run up and go, "Hey, that's not yours. What are you doing with that?" And Bad Bunny goes, "Oh, here, you can have it." He just gives it back to Morrison. But as he does, Bad Bunny would hit him with his microphone. Miz would get distracted again, and Priest would hit the Reckoning to get the pinfall victory. So, I like the Damien Priest won, debuted on the main roster, all of that, cool. But I wish it wasn't a finish where there was the so much distraction, so much interruptions. I wish it would just have been a showcase for Damien Priest and not, oh, Damien Priest is just here because he's, with Bad Bunny. Like this, they focus too much on Bad Bunny and not enough on Damien Priest being a big ass guy and dominating Miz. So that's the downside I had with this match. That it was more about Bad Bunny than Damien Priest, and it should have been more about Damien Priest since it was his main roster debut. Next up, they recapped some stuff with Alexa Bliss and told us, hey, she's facing Nikki Cross later. Going forward, we had an 11-minute match with the Raw Tag titles on the line as Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander defended against the Lucha House Party with MVP on commentary. John Martson, if you check our website and our YouTube channel, we've already reported on that. So Greg Metalik early on got a hot tag, and he ran wild. Metalik and Alexander. Metalik had Alexander pinned after a senton, but Benjamin just barely at the last millisecond broke it up. Alexander hit a knee strike, but Benjamin tagged himself in, and Metalik hit the pay dirt to pick up the victory and retain the Raw Tag Team Championships. Now, this is a pretty good match. After the match, Alexander was annoyed that he got blind tagged, and MVP got in the ring to settle things down. They all bump fist. Basically, he now knows what it feels like to get, I guess you say, fucked with during one of his tag title matches, like he's been doing to Shelton. In the back, Sarah Shriver interviewed Charlotte Flair and Asuka. And before I get into this, I have a problem here. Asuka's the Raw Women's Champion. Your main female champion on Raw. And if she didn't have the title on her shoulder, you wouldn't know she was. Because she's more concerned about being Charlotte's friend and getting the women's tag titles back. I get it. You want as much gold as you possibly can. But when you're sacrificing this storyline for your main women's title, especially when they're not getting the titles back, and Asuka is second fiddle to the storyline, when this storyline is all about Charlotte and Lacey, and Asuka is just an extra in the gamut, like, fuck that. Fuck WWE and their decision to bury the Raw Women's title. Like, next time Asuka defends the title, who's gonna fucking care? Asuka's just been, for the last month now, Charlotte's friend who got screwed a couple times. And then Naomi pins Asuka to win this match. So is Naomi getting a title shot? No. She's getting a tag title shot with Lana. And you know what that's going to be? Not Lana and Naomi getting a tag title shot. More Lana and Nia Jax bullshit. Just saying. This women's division is all kinds of fucked up. You're supposed to be focusing on your champions, and there's stupid ass storylines that they're putting over the titles. I get it. You want multiple women's storylines. Great. But don't sacrifice your championships for those storylines. Do those in addition to. Stupid. And I get it's probably all going to end up leading to Charlotte finally beats Lacey's ass and then goes after Asuka, but we'll see. So Charlotte felt bad that she let Asuka down at the Royal Rumble. Asuka wanted to speak for herself, though. She said she's ready, but they only lost because of the distraction by, she said, and I quote, Charlotte's father and that woman. Charlotte said something was on her mind, and that something was winning back the titles. Asuka was happy to hear that Charlotte was focused, I guess you could say, but her response also felt like a warning to Charlotte about don't mess up again. So here we got a triple threat tag team match. It was Raw Women's Champion Asuka and Charlotte Flair, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, and the new team of Naomi and Lana. Random as fuck. And Lana literally goes, I want to become, they did a promo before the match, an inset promo. And Lana goes, you know, I've had an opportunity at the Raw Women's, the WWE Tag Team titles before. But now, I know that I'm not going at it alone. I've got Naomi with me. And my first thought was, again, you're burying your fucking women's champion. Lana wasn't going at it alone. She was going at it with the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka. Basically, she said, fuck you, Asuka. I got a better partner in Naomi that's way better than you that's going to actually help me win the titles. Wow. They're really just piling it on Asuka. Asuka's second fiddle to Lacey and Charlotte. Lana said, I never had a true partner when I tried to go for the titles last time, but I got a real partner now. And then, as we're going to say here in a second, Asuka got pinned. When you've got Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose over in the other corner that easily could have ate that pin. It's so dumb. Asuka's losing all credibility, and that championship she holds is losing all credibility. I can't even try to guess, other than maybe her and Charlotte, where she goes next defending the title. Asuka, that is. We had this tag team #1 contenders match. Asuka hit Rose with a Shining Wizard early for a near fall. Lana tagged in, but Charlotte knocked her down and took over. Naomi made the tag and hit Charlotte with a jawbreaker, a strike, and a disaster kick for a 2. Charlotte caught off Lana with a big boot, which led to basically everyone trading moves. At one point, I don't know exactly what happened here, but Mandy Rose got knocked down, and you just hear Lana super loud, Mandy, are you all right? Like, that was not what something happened there. Because A, she ain't gonna yell at that loud, even if they were scripted to say that. And B, why does she care if somebody on the opposing team is hurt? Like, something must have happened. And Mandy Rose disappeared for a while, only to be seen again for like 10 seconds. So, I don't know what happened with Mandy Rose there. But when Naomi said, hey, Mandy, are you all right? After Mandy fell to the floor, I hope Mandy Rose didn't get hurt. Going forward in this match, Charlotte hits the natural selection when Ric Flair's music would hit. Rick and Evans would show up on the ramp, and instead of continuing to wrestle, Charlotte literally acted like a kid and said, I'm done. Tags Asuka and leaves. Fucking just leaves. So Asuka's like, okay, I'm all by myself. What the fuck? And Naomi hits her with the rear view, just ass in the face, and pins her. Again, Asuka wasn't only pinned here, but she was made to look like the geeks, the queen of the geeks. Her teammate literally just leaves her because she's upset with what her daddy is doing. And then she gets confused by this, which, of course, gets asked to the face and pinned. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. They're burying the shit out of Asuka. With this victory, Naomi and Lana are now the number one contenders to Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Women's Tag Team Champions. And people are online, oh yeah, Naomi's getting a shot. Naomi got a tag title shot. Heck yeah, that's great. I wouldn't be that excited. Look who her partner is, Lana. Look who they're facing, Nia and Shayna. What have we seen for the last 6 months? Maybe not 6 months, but 4 months. Nia, more concerned about putting Lana through tables than anything. So it's like, I wouldn't be too happy that Naomi's getting a shot. She may end up taking playing second fiddle to Nia and Lana. Just saying. Charlie Caruso in the back interviews Drew McIntyre. McIntyre said that it would be an honor to defend his title against Edge at WrestleMania. Regarding Sheamus, though, McIntyre got a little emotional, explaining that families fight all the time, but this didn't seem like that. It felt different. He looked right into the camera and said, Sheamus, are you really willing to throw away a 20-year friendship? You've been there for me, and I've been there for you through everything. But if this is what you want, I accept. So I don't know when this match is taking place, but it does look like we're going to be getting Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus sometime soon. Is that on Raw? Is that February 21st at Elimination Chamber? I don't know. So earlier in the night, I think it was during the women's tag match, a little graphic just pops up at the bottom of the screen, and the commentary makes no mention of this and it just says Jeff Hardy and Carlito versus Elias and Jackson Riker. And the commentary mentions nothing of it. So if you weren't fully paying attention to your TV here, you would have missed it. But that's the match we got. Almost 6-minute match. Jeff Hardy and Carlito against Elias and Jackson Riker. Now, it was reported earlier today that Carlito may do some wrestling for WWE, but they also are thinking about making him a backstage producer. Now, remember what happened with MVP. He came into the Rumble last year, worked a match on Raw. They wanted him as a producer, and they kept using him on TV and go, oh no, this guy's gold. We need him on TV. Yeah, screw the producer role. You're full-time on the roster. So maybe that happens with Carlito as well. We'll have to wait and see. But I thought this match was all right. I mean, it's Elias and Jackson Riker. What are you really going to expect? Yes, you got Jeff Hardy and Carlito looking great, but meh. He worked over Hardy for the early portions of this match until Carlito got the hot tag and ran wild on Riker. Elias tagged in and used a schoolboy for a 2. Carlito hit a backstabber and tagged Hardy in, who nailed a swanton to pick up the victory. Again, this match was all right. I didn't think the Carlito Jackson Riker stuff was any good. And how much more do we need of Jeff Hardy and Elias? Like, fuck it. That's been done to death. Next up, we get a video package hyping up tonight's main event between Edge and Randy Orton, and they claim this is it. Final meeting, Edge, Randy Orton. Edge then cuts a promo. Edge says that he's torn. On one hand, he should be ecstatic that he returned to win the Royal Rumble, outlasting 29 of the best wrestlers in the world. But on the other hand, a black cloud named Randy Orton looming over him. Edge said that Orton, he had the opportunity to go bell to bell, just like he did, but instead, chickened out. He claimed a knee injury to not have to work the match. Edge said that Orton needed to stop talking about his family. That he needs to put Orton in his rear view and focus on winning back the championship that he never lost. He said he's going to get closure tonight, and he will no longer have to explain to his daughters why he can't lift them up or play soccer with them. Because tonight, him and Randy Orton, it all ends. There was a Black History Month video featuring Big E, Titus O'Neil, and Montez Ford. Then, Damien Priest got his John Cena Undertaker moment. So Edge is walking around backstage, and he just happens to see Damien Priest, and he just walks up and goes, and he just says, hey, good job. I'm impressed. They shook hands. What a great way to endorse Damien Priest as a new guy on the main roster. You get one of your biggest stars, your best legends, Hall of Famers, to say, I like this kid. Everybody watching should as well. Next up, we got what I would call bullshit with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Match went 6 minutes and 45 seconds. And it was just more Alexa Bliss magic. So, early on, Nikki Cross was in control. She kind of played it up early like she didn't want to do this but had to do it. And Alexa was doing the whole childish thing. At one point, Bliss got a 2 and went, shucks. Kicked out. Alexa, at one point, had Nikki Cross down on all fours. So Alexa went from the corner and hopscotched. This is what's called hopscotched. Over to Alexa or Nikki before kicking her in the gut. Cross then began to make a comeback though. But she stopped when we heard Alexa's old music play. Music stops, and you see normal Bliss in the corner. She's in her old gear, hair's down, straight, everything, and she's like, come on, let's go. Friendly rivalry, just two friends having a fight. Let's do this. Who's the better wrestler? And Nikki's like, what just happened here? And Alexa just wants to have a friendly, competitive match. Cross is like, I'm not buying it. All of a sudden, the Funhouse music hits again. And Alexa's back. Creepy, childlike Alexa. Again, Nikki Cross, super confused. Is taken down by Bliss. Bliss then grabs her for a new version of the Sister Abigail, which is more of a DDT-ish move than the Sister Abigail. And she just pins her. Nikki Cross loses. This went 7 minutes. And it didn't need to go that long at all. This would have been fine at like 4. You could have done all the same stuff, but didn't need all that filler at the beginning. So as Bliss was leaving, Randy Orton would enter for his match. They crossed paths on the ramp. Bliss stared at Orton as they passed each other, and Orton didn't look at her at all. Didn't even acknowledge her. And then we got a 16-minute match between Edge and Randy Orton. So basically, Edge throughout a lot of this match trying to win as fast as he can, but because he's still tired from the Royal Rumbles, they told us. Edge tried to end the match early with a couple pinfall attempts. Edge tried the anti-venom submission, but Orton knocked him down and took over. Edge came back with the execution DDT and got a 2 off of it. Orton countered a spear into a power slam and tossed Edge shoulder first into the post. Orton then chucked him into the steps, which led to a break. Orton was in full control when we returned from that break, and Edge knocked him down with the right hand. They collided with double clotheslines for a double down spot, and Edge went to the top rope eventually. Orton went after him, and Edge fought him off and hit a flying clothesline for a 2. Edge countered an RKO attempt into an Edge-O-Matic and got another 2 count. Edge then drove Orton off the apron, and he crashed into the barricade. Edge went for the cover in the ring, but Orton rolled outside the ring. Basically, at this point, Edge could barely make the cover. He was just that tired. Edge then went after Orton, and Orton thumbed him in the eyes and gave him a suplex on the announce table. Orton slingshotted Edge into the bottom ropes before hitting a draping DDT. Orton then looked like he was ready to go for the RKO when we heard some creepy music, saw a purple light, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, Alexa Bliss is sitting on the top rope. Just sitting there. Doesn't say or do anything. She's just sitting there, and then all of a sudden, I guess you could say it's black blood or something, just starts coming out of her mouth. And she's like looking up and looking around, and this blood's coming all out of her mouth and everything. And Orton's like, oh, what? And as soon as he turns around, he eats a spear and gets pinned. Camera zooms out. Alexa's gone. Edge defeats Randy Orton. And so earlier I said a lot of stuff that they did where I'm like, just get to the point already. And it's this. Get to the point. Is The Fiend coming back as The Fiend? Or is Bray coming back as Whole World in Your Hands Bray? Are we getting a new Bray Wyatt incarnation? What are we doing here? Because now I'm getting tired of it. Now it's getting old. Trying to keep it going with Alexa. Fuck that. Just give us Bray. Give us whatever this match is going to be between Bray and Randy. And then let's just move the fuck on. Because I'm done with it. I'm bored. Orton's better than this. Orton can do more. I don't know what more, because I don't know what else they do with Randy Orton right now, and that's because he's been too wrapped up with this freaking Bray Wyatt, Alexa Bliss stuff for so long. But with that, that was Monday Night Raw. Now I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Raw. Let me know. Send me a text message, 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. It is in the live chat and scrolling periodically right down here. But let's check that really fast as we reload the page, see if we got any new messages. This one says, I'm not sure how I feel about Asuka the champion takes her second pin in a few weeks. Exactly. I don't like it at all. This person says, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, so it's not a spoiler if you've been watching, but with the plan of Edge versus Reigns at WrestleMania, what do you see Seth Rollins doing on his road to WrestleMania? Unfortunately, I don't see him being a babyface unless he was to face Roman, saving SmackDown. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do they go back to the Rey Mysterio stuff? I mean, does he align with Rey against Corbin? Rey kept saying something about they've got somebody that they can call in to help them. So I don't know. It says, wasn't Carlito working the Indies? Carlito's been doing a lot of stuff over the last 10, 11 years. I think mostly working for his dad in Puerto Rico, though. There's this 2 questions. Do you think Bad Bunny will have a match at WrestleMania? And is WWE going the route with Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton? I hope it's not Alexa versus Orton, because they do the whole men can't really hit too much stuff on women thing. And I think it's too far out, but I could really see Miz and Morrison versus Damien Priest and Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. It may be too far out as far as too long of a build for that. Person says, if I only hear, I know I only hear he posted that Age was possibly going, I think it's meant to say Edge, possibly going to fight Roman at WrestleMania. Do you think same is, okay, 817? I can't understand this because it's just not written properly, and I have no clue. I kind of get what you're trying to say, but because some of your words are incorrect here and not spelled right and stuff, I don't know what you're trying to say. This person says, since Christian returned to the Royal Rumble, will he potentially see him get one last wrestling run before losing his ring rust? Possibly one more match against Big E for the IC title, since he never got it in 2004. So the plan is for Christian to wrestle. Many in the company do believe he's on a part-time schedule similar to Edge. Says if it's Edge versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title at WrestleMania is the next storyline. Do you see both the Usos and Christian interfering in that match? I could, but I wouldn't do it. I would do straight up Edge, Roman Reigns. You maybe have Paul Heyman out there for some shenanigans, but that would be it. The person says, if Edge challenges Reigns, do you think he wins? I've always thought Reigns and Usos as a tag team and world champion stable. So honestly, no. I think Roman Reigns needs to hold that title till WrestleMania next year when he can face The Rock. Because the longer he holds the title, the more of a bitchin' asshole he can be. And then he's going to get too much of an ego, and Rock's going to come in and go, I've heard you say what? This family can't survive without you as the champion? I need to knock you down, Lowe's. I need to knock you off your pedestal. You got too big of a head. So I think, no. And, yeah, that is it for text messages. A lot of people asking about Edge and Roman Reigns. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. We'll be live again on Wednesday talking AEW Dynamite and NXT. Remember to follow us on social media. Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. With that, guys, have a great, great night. And I will see you on Wednesday. Might be streaming on my personal channel later tonight and tomorrow. Follow me over there as well, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy.